I took this opportunity to do a late show. Um, and many of you may not know, one of the things I want to talk about today is how I integrated YouTube into our actually CFS studios. And and, uh, and I just tell you this from the standpoint because it was one of the things was when we first started YouTube and we looked at that channel, we had set some goals. Josue, Nate, and I, we began to have a conversation, as well as I talked to several other people as part of the organization. When we had that conversation with everybody, everything wasn't at first clear. We began to kind of concentrate. We scaled down exactly what we want to talk about. So on the day on the show, I'm going to tell you how we took our channel from having 0 to 10 to 12 to over 100,000 subscribers. Now, it didn't happen overnight. I think, as most of you guys would know, some of the motivations that we have is we start off and we say, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, but we don't necessarily correlate it to our business. And when we don't correlate the YouTube channel to our business, it actually don't help. But let me just tell you something now. I have made more money in business when I incorporate the whole team effort. Not when I do things out on my own, but when I incorporate the whole team effort. So I'm definitely going to tell you that if you have a business, on Mondays I have my business show. So when I do my business show, I give you some pointers. So on today, I'm going to point out 4 points. I'm going to ask everyone now. One of the point number one is we need to always make sure that we ask anyone who watch our channel to don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. How come that's important? Because you do have to tell people. Some people will on YouTube, they do watch your channel. They may not be subscribers. Some other ones, they just come back and visit a couple times. You may have a few people to follow your channel and also support your channel, and they subscribe for you, but yet they may not watch any other content. So you have to be aware of that as well. So when it comes to generating revenue, for most of you, there's two groups. There's individuals who utilize YouTube for revenue streams and integrate it to another stream that they have, and there's others that you use that utilize YouTube just to watch other people's content that's being produced. Well, we fall into the first category. We already had a business, and then from there, we established the YouTube channel. The whole goal of the YouTube channel was to strengthen, and also it's another income line for our company. For most of you, you may say to yourself, well, I get that. That's an income line for you, but it's not an income line for me. Well, you have to decide which side you're going to be on. If you're on the side that you're going to be utilizing this for entertainment, then it makes sense. You'll watch content and it's going to be entertaining you. Our channel specifically is not necessarily to entertain, it's to educate. We do have, I will take that, I'll actually incorporate something. It is to educate, but it also has some entertainment as well. As far as our short films, our film industries, long and short version of films. And at the same time, we have the slate where we talk about in the movie industry, what is going on in the local community for the opportunities that we're involved in, or some we may not be involved in, but we still support. So you'll find that that's on a Friday show, and that's also part of our shorts. You notice that when you first come to our channel, we have a short called the Lemonade Stand that was put on to kind of give you a little understanding of how to have your kids work, do certain things in order to generate income, not always asking for money, but seeing how they could maintain and stimulate GDP. That's what the whole part of that short is. So when you first log onto our channel, don't forget to watch that short and see how we leverage the Lemonade Stand. Now, we know Lemonade Stand has always been around for a while, but we incorporated by having a young man by the name of Nathan Jr. to look at what it would take for him in order to get a toy that he wanted. And that was the whole purpose of that short film. Now, we leveraged that short film by putting it on YouTube. So someone would ask, have you ever made movies before or shorts? The answer is yes. We have the Lemonade Stand. We have other films and stuff that we worked on as well. Well, have you ever made money from films? Here's my answer again. Yes. How do we make money from films? We leveraged it on YouTube. We got over 20,000 views on that video itself, and people watched it. Even though people didn't go to the movies and they paid ticket prices, they did have the opportunity to enjoy the short. And that 5-minute short generated revenue. So that was the form of leverage. We just didn't shoot it. We actually made money from it. Now, did we make the same thing on a feature film or anything in that regards? No, we didn't. But what we did was that we was able to prove to ourselves that we can leverage YouTube to make income for any film that we produced. Now, some of you may be saying to yourself, really? You trying to tell me if I shoot a film? Well, if you think about content creators and you think about taking your YouTube channel and being successful, it's all in your perception. Now, if you have the wrong perception and you start from the wrong beginning, then you're also going to have a situation that you're going to get the wrong answer because you're starting from the wrong position. You can only get the wrong answer for the position that you're starting from. I think it's important that whenever you're going to use anything, whenever you're going to leverage anything, that you look at it from a business construct, not an individual construct. The reason is you can put together a lot of content for your channel, and it's something that you want to talk about, but it's not something that someone else wants to learn. That was another thing we had to learn. We had to learn that if you want to unlock, and I mean seriously, if you want to unlock the potential of power of your business. Now, for us, we are a C corporation. For you, you may be an LLC or you may be a sole proprietor working. But when we joined the YouTube partnership program, one of the things was to build a company that was all we actually wanted to build our company, and we wanted to leverage our YouTube channel, and we wanted to teach. Now, everyone can't utilize our services because some of the services that we have are they're actually a little bit expensive. I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat it. And the reason it is because when you're paying anyone to assist you, you're not paying for them for inexperience. You're paying for experience. You're paying for them to cut the time down in order for you to achieve the goals that you want. So in business, you only have three choices. You can hire the best, you can hire the second best and pay them a little bit less because you couldn't afford to hire the first, or you can train, and then that's a little bit longer. So if you watch it right now and you say to yourself, I have a business and I'm trying to figure out how to leverage YouTube, then you definitely want to watch this show today, especially on any Monday, not just because of YouTube, so you can actually understand how you can leverage it. Will you make money on YouTube? Yes. How do I make the most money on YouTube? Because I leverage YouTube. It's not just the paid advertisement. I think that was when when we first got involved with a YouTube channel, we thought it was, oh, we're gonna get a ton of money from all the advertisement that played, the skips, the 15 seconds, the 30 seconds. Well, you learn after a year of doing YouTube, or maybe from the first 6 months, that the power of the leverage of YouTube is the deals you make outside of YouTube for sponsorship more than the ones you get. The ones you get is money that you're going to make from any content you put out there. But it was also for us the opportunity to realize that the money that we made from the deals outside of YouTube were tremendous. Those were the deals that made sense. Those were the deals that put us on the map, allowed us to reach 100,000 subscribers. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it because there are several people who actually make deals with YouTube as a partner, and it was just strictly on their content. But here's the thing: when you run a 5 days a week, 8-hour business, you can't be on YouTube all the time. You got employees, you have a team, and when you work with that team, you're also helping people off of YouTube. So anytime we leverage our YouTube, is for those clients or for individuals who are looking. YouTube is a place that you go to for entertainment or you want to learn something. And as you know, you always see those DIY projects, DIY product, do it yourself projects. And some people are autodidacts like myself. Um, Also through education, I went to college, got educated, and then I also do a lot of DIY, which means I'm an autodidact. I can learn a lot on my own, but it also takes a little bit longer. So when you're thinking about and you just decided that, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I would tell you this: have the mindset first to not necessarily start a YouTube channel, but start a business, because YouTube partnership is a business transaction. It's the first transaction, if you look at it the right way, that you make with a publicly traded company. I mean, Google is a publicly traded company, whether we want to admit to it or not. It's a business, and they're in the position that they're looking to leverage you to make money. That's right. I'm leveraging YouTube, and YouTube is leveraging me. They use the word partnership, but in reality, I don't have a number where I can contact YouTube and says, hey, listen, let's change the algorithm and do it this way. It doesn't work that way. And if you think it works that way, you'll find out within the first 12 months that it doesn't work that way. The way that it works is that YouTube already has the money. You just have to put content up there and they'll put ads on your channel. But that is not how you maximize the income, because anyone can look at it. And especially once you go from right after the holidays, and we into these months now, going into the fall, we getting ready to go back into the holiday months, you're going to start to see a lot of ad spending. But doing that off peak time when we're not doing the back to school, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you got you got the Cyber Mondays, you got the Black Fridays, you got the Thursdays. That's when ads really come into play. Well, you prepare for that. You got 6 months and that's why I always try to tell people when it comes to YouTube, you got 6 months of you really sitting down, building your plan out, and then understanding that it's a business. It's work. do not have the idea, or at least I didn't have the idea when we first started YouTube that it was going to be a piece of cake. I knew I was going to have to fight myself a lot of times to make sure I put the content out there that need to be put out there in a timely fashion. Other times I knew that it was easy. Right now I'm shooting lives. You may say, how come I'm shooting lives? Because the camera crew is doing short films. So you've probably seen a lot more live content, especially if you click the live button on our YouTube channel from me lately, especially on Mondays and Wednesdays when I'm talking about my stock watch list for my own personal trading, or you see me talking on Monday about business strategies. And one of the things I'm telling you today is you got to discover the strategies that allow you to make income on and off YouTube, as well as make income through YouTube. See, when I say on YouTube, I'm referring to the things that's already established through YouTube, just as a content creator. Once you make the partnership, now how do you grow from having maybe less than 100 people to meeting the criteria to meet the partnership program? Let me just be very honest with you. You're going to grow by being obedient and following what they say. YouTube is a very interesting business because one of the things I had to learn is that it literally is automatic, systematic, and boring from a standpoint where if the content that you're going to be putting out to the market to become partnership program, you can look at a lot of channels and you can just do a study and say, okay, these channels talk about this subject. YouTube is extremely big with the algorithm on humiliation content. Well, as an educator myself and as a business consultant, I try not to I don't want to practice doing humiliation in order to make money. Now, I'm telling you, there are a lot of channels that use humiliation to make money, and they do very, very well. There's other channels that don't use humiliation and they just teach. Because we talk about business, because I have a show on Wednesday where I talk about stocks, humiliation is not my thing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I think if we started another channel already on our channel, we have our CFS studios, then we have our short films, we have our slate show, we have our Wednesday show, and we have our business strategy show on Mondays. I think if we went out there and said, we're going to start a channel where we're just going to go do some random things that just to be facetious and to get people to laugh and think it's cool, because we do live in a generation today where they do enjoy. I mean, just to be honest with you, back in the day when I was young, you wouldn't go out and you was never taught to go purposely do something that will be offensive or make a person feel like they're being insulted, or just go after someone's character. Because, a lot of times when you go to humiliation, a person feels like you're attacking their character, even though it may be what we call a joke. For us, a lot of times it's not a joke. I mean, you can really hurt somebody with some of the content they doing out here on YouTube, especially these strangers walking into people's houses, ringing the doorbell, and barging in, and they say, "Oh, it's just for my channel." Some of this stuff is criminal, but at the same time, people love to watch it. People love to watch people getting beat up. People love to watch girls be humiliated. I mean, it's so much, and people make hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that. Well, you also got to take, is that your temperament? So when you first starting out and you have a business and you do not incorporate your YouTube channel, I'm going to say that you need to already know that that's a no-no. Now, I'm not saying that you take your business and you try to cram it down someone's throat on YouTube. That's not what I'm getting at. But when you're going out here and you're looking for new clients, I just want to tell you, don't look for new clients. Don't do that. There's a different term I'm going to use, which is still going to mean going out. You attract clients. Don't go look for new clients. You attract them. Part of YouTube is just like when you're attracting viewers, you have to realize that there are certain words you have to use. People keep using these two words and they're not interchangeable. Presumption is based on what I believe something will happen if I'm on YouTube. I have a presumption. I put out this content, I have a presumption. That's not potential, guys. Potential is always based on something that was completed. Like if I'm an NBA team owner and I go out here and I grab LeBron James and I go after Steph Curry, I'm not going after them because I have a presumption. I'm going after them because they got potential and I'm trying to have a team that's going to win. I'm going to go out here and maybe go grab some other people. Maybe I go say I'm going to recruit Jordan, a guy named Jordan, but not Michael Jordan, another guy named Jordan, who was a center. I can't think, I see his face, but I can't think of his first name right now, but I see his last name. So I'm going after him for potential. We look at the situation with down in the Miami Heat. We see that they brought in Butler, and look what he did. He took them all the way to the championship. They lost, like everybody else, but he took them to the championship because they didn't recruit him. They got him for, there was potential. That's past. But when you first start a YouTube channel, just understand this. You're using presumption. You're saying, if I do this, you're not talking about past experience, especially if you haven't made, 5,000, 10,000 in business and you start off with a YouTube channel. Just understand YouTube is a business. So one of the things I can tell you is that it's so important that before you start on YouTube or before you start a business is that you engage with somebody on YouTube. Here is one of my things that I did. I actually went to 3 people's channels that did live streams, and 3 people channels on Instagram too that would do live streams. And I would jump in their chats, and I would, they go live. I'm going to go on live with them, and I'm going to have conversations, and I'm going to engage with them. And over time, I became consistent, and they started saying my name. And as they started saying my name, like, thank you, Primo's back. I want to appreciate that. Thank you, CFS Studios. And then one of the other things is be mindful. Our first name for our channel before wasn't always CFS Studios. It was Castle Stewardship. So one of the things that we had to learn is really narrow down what you want your channel to be. And then that channel doesn't rebrand me, but what it does do is it give people what to look for. When the screen pops up, they knew to look for CFS Studios. They knew, okay, this is the content they put out. Our content is not going to fit everybody. I understood that. I didn't go into it and with the idea that it would. I just went into it, well, I'm going to engage with these 3 people on Instagram. I'm going to engage with these 3 people on YouTube. And as they began to say my name, I noticed people started clicking on our YouTube channel. But and I will tell you, it took me some time. It didn't happen overnight. When the YouTube channel was started for our business was started in 2020, when we first started it. We didn't really kick in the gear until 2020, into 2021. During the time of COVID, we were slam busy with clients, which was unique, which when we was gaining new clients, we were doing Zoom videos. So you kind of do that content. But some people are looking for legitimately information. So let me just tell you this. If you want to monetize your channel, make money before it's monetized. That was one of the key things that kept us going. If we had to wait to the partnership till we met the partnership program's criteria, we would have fundamentally failed. Because we would have, that process, we started a channel and it took us a year later to focus on the channel. So, when the channel was started, there was a team that was established to start the channel. Well, that team we kind of separated from, and then we brought in new people. And when I mean separated, which means we went in different directions in business, and we went in different directions. It didn't make sense for us to come back for that one thing, because I'm gonna give you an example. You have waves on the beach that are small waves, and then you have waves on the beach that you can boogie board and surf on. We were looking for the waves that we could boogie board and surf on, not the little waves that you say, oh, you think it's big, because that's what you're going to have. You're going to have people who are serious about making money and people who's not serious about making money. So make money the first thing that you do. If your whole thing is just say, I'm trying to get followers, let me just tell you this. YouTube is a business. You would be manipulated by YouTube going out here just saying, I'm just doing this so that I can get more followers so I can feel better about myself. Understand a YouTube partnership is a business transaction. They even came out with recently a smaller program from YouTube, but you don't get the ad revenue until you meet the full scope. I would tell you this: my ad revenue is not based on what YouTube's going to pay me. It's based on what I determine myself to get paid. What YouTube give me is a bonus. It has always been that way. What YouTube give, and because this is the thing, when you create your business, you're not creating your business with someone else dictating the outcome. You creating your business that is an income line. YouTube is an income line for us. On the 21st of every month, they deposit money in the business account that does not come from a client that I'm dealing with or a client the team is dealing with in the business. So on the 21st of every month, YouTube pays you, in case you don't know that. If you've never been paid by YouTube, it happens the 21st of every month. That money is deposited into your account. 2, how do you go from 0 to 100? Because before we did anything with YouTube, I made sure I was constantly out there telling people about business and services, telling people about what I'm going to talk about, asking individuals. Matter of fact, I remember before YouTube even paid our channel before, we had already made money on our channel from working with other businesses that were sponsoring our content beforehand. So here's the most important thing. If you're going to utilize YouTube, make sure you yourself make a deal to get sponsors before you start your YouTube channel. Now, you may say to yourself, what do you mean by that? Yes, that's exactly what I did. Telling you the facts. I went out there and got sponsors for the YouTube channel. I sat down with businesses and got them to sponsor the channel before we even started. How come? Because YouTube's not going to dictate my income. It's a partnership. But if you always waiting on someone to pay you, then they dictate what the deal of the money is. Now, I can tell you that consistently, 12 months, YouTube pays. We've gotten a check every month for 12 months. The biggest come from the partnerships we make outside of YouTube. So for all you new people that's on YouTube right now, and you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel because YouTube does have money, and you say, I want to do this thing, I just want to encourage you to understand this. Make your deals before you start your channel. One is going to motivate you that you know you have individuals, you have sponsors. But more importantly is you can't make a major deal until you're willing to make a deal. YouTube itself is one deal that you'll make. But the biggest deal you make is with the companies that they already made a deal with YouTube. And I think sometimes, next time you're watching YouTube or you're watching anybody on YouTube, look at the ads. Now, I'm just want to be honest. Look at the ads that's playing on that channel. I know a lot of times we just skip it. I'm not telling you that you don't have to skip them, but just look at the ad that's playing. Now, that ad is being played by YouTube. If your channel goes from having, and see, I can tell you this, if you a channel, you got less than 10,000 subscribers, you can get paid anywhere between $250 to $1,000 on a deal outside of YouTube. If your channel, and I want to say, if your channel is anywhere between 10,000, and I'm using this because this is what we did during our time. If your channel is anywhere between about, let's say 11,000 to around 50,000, you could be paid anywhere between 1,000 to about $5,000 per deal. If your channel, because those are still small channels, but they still small channels that have influence. You may not realize it. So if you meet that YouTube 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, you can make $250. Regardless, again, this has nothing to do with YouTube's going to pay you. This is the deals that you make yourself. Once we hit 100,000, that's when you make some sweet deals. And it's not necessarily just for YouTube, but it's business to business now. See, your first major deal may be making a YouTube partnership, but make the deals with your community as well. And what you may not realize is that even when you look at this channel, there's a thanks button. So I use a number, and this is the number that we've used. We came up, Nate, Josue and I, we came up with, we were talking. We was like, okay, this is what our goal is. We set a goal. The goal that we set was $12. We're going to ask anybody who watch our content, we're going to ask any person that's asking us a question that's not even on YouTube, that's outside, that they have a business question, but they don't want to pay our regular fee for a consultant, but they just have a basic question they call. We're going to charge them $12. It sounds crazy, guys. We're going to charge $12. And he said, okay, if they ask us a question, and here was one question I got paid $12 for it. And you would say, serious? I'm dead serious. A person says, well, if I'm going to start a YouTube channel, what's the first thing I should do? Do you have $12? I asked them, do you have $12 on you? They were like, I don't have 12. I got 15. Okay. Can I have it? And I had $3 in my pocket. Oh, I had 5 ones in my pocket. Not $3. I had 5 ones. So they gave me the 15. I gave them back, $3. I said, okay, here's the first thing you want to do. And not only did they pay me $12, not only did I tell them what to do for $12, if they didn't use it, I got $12. What did I get it for? The YouTube channel. How come I got it for the YouTube channel? Well, I got it from the YouTube channel because it was a business decision for dealing with me. You're like, well, $12, that's no money. That wasn't the point. The point wasn't that it wasn't money. The point was I had to have a starting point to realize that the whole reason that if you're going to run a business is that you're going to have to ask the customers that walk into your location for money. Imagine a person comes in your shop, they look around, and you have nothing to offer. They standing at your register ready to pay. You're like, no, I don't want your money. Again, if all I'm gonna do is wait for YouTube to pay me, remember what I said, YouTube pays me on the 21st of every month. My local community, my engagement with other businesses they can pay me every day if that's the case. But if you hit the thanks button on here for the content, and you pay anywhere between $199 up to $500. Most people don't realize that. Yes, up to $500. You click that button, I'm not getting paid to the 21st for that. So I had to make sure I made a decision, especially when you come from a background. I'm not sure your background if you're watching this video right now, but if you're thinking about taking and starting a YouTube channel, understand more than ever to Ask people to like right now, if people watching, like the channel, like the content. Like the content. You got to ask that question. Like the content. How? Because likes are associated with the algorithm, and the algorithm is associated with allowing people to find your channel. So if you can't ask people to like, and you can't ask people for money, that's two things that tell you that you really should stay on the side of entertainment for YouTube, where you just watch people's YouTube content. Because at the end of the day, you watch it, they get watch hours, the algorithm finds it, you'll notice. I remember and the reason I'm saying I is because I'm giving you some of my personal experience, but I don't want to negate the fact that it is a team. I want to negate the fact that there's people behind the scenes that's working, and the people behind the scenes that made it possible for me to do this. So it's just not like I came to the table. So even if I say the word I need probably say we, because that's better suited to really address what took place. There's people behind the scenes, and there's people who engaged that you've seen on this channel that made it possible for us to be able to do what we're doing. And those possibilities were based on potential, which means other things that was accomplished. And when those other things was accomplished, that's how we got to what we're doing today. Now, I share that with you because here's the thing. You have to learn, grow, and die. If you ever listen to any of my content, you heard me say that before. Learn, grow, and die. Learn what I need to learn today about myself. Die to the behaviors that I know are going to impede me from being successful, and then grow again tomorrow. So learn, grow, and die. Well, learn, you're going to grow from what you learn, and then die. I'm going to die to myself. I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow from it, and I'm going to die. I'm going to kill everything inside of me that has a bias, that has the wrong viewpoint. Because you take for yourself. I've done YouTube now for consistently throughout 12 months and got paid over 12 months for about 2 years now, all the way through 2021 and so starting the end of 2020, but I was still putting out content. And I go back sometime and I look at those earlier YouTube videos. I seen when I was nervous. I felt when I was afraid. I knew when I fought to do a YouTube video. So you got to go through all of that. But it's a business. But if you're going to do that business, then you have to ask yourself this other question. Economically, I can go work and get paid per hour, or I can do this. But what I cannot do is I cannot do YouTube and then make less money than what I make an hour if I'm focused in another area. If you're making $20 an hour and then I go do YouTube and I make literally no money in that hour, and I'm on YouTube for an hour, I make no money in that month, and you just start off, you'll say, oh man, I just started off on YouTube and I haven't made no money, but I'm building my followers. Okay, remember, YouTube gets paid. Prior to you being part of that YouTube partnership, YouTube gets a check. So here's the thing I'm going to tell you to do. One, I put in the body the points, the 4 points. So if you look at the body of this, here's the 4 points. So let me just tell you, just straight on up with these 4 points, because I always try to remember myself that everybody has a short attention time span, that they can be watching anything. And at the end of the day, I'm doing a early morning, midnight show. So I want to make sure that I keep the content very, very, very tailored. So here you go in a nutshell. One, pick your niche that's associated with your personality. When you pick your niche which is associated with your personality, let me tell you this. Do not get disappointed if no one views the channel, because the goal of it is to learn, one, how to be in front of a camera. And one of the things that I've been able to prove is this. We have a powerful camera. That's how we shoot short films. We also have a second camera. So we can do 4K. I can do 1080p. I'm right now using my laptop. I don't have another camera set on the backside of my laptop to shoot that's even more crystal clear. How come? Because part of all of those things are things I'm thinking about that I have to do in order to get to a place where other people are. But the question is, can what I'm doing pay for it? Versus me going out putting the money up front, because all you do is put yourself in a hole. So I'm going to tell you, pick a niche based on your personality. If you're a person who likes gossip, do a gossip show. If you're a person who like do product evaluations, do a product evaluations. But here's the key to it. You're creating a business. So if you're going to do anything when you're going to do gossip, make sure you have a business that can generate money outside of YouTube that do gossip, because that's where you're going to make the bulk of the money. YouTube's going to be a compliment, and then you're going to make a major deal. So you end up with 3 deals. You'll have your deals you made when you're doing gossip. I mean, if nobody's paying you $5 to tell you a secret, then you need to create that outside of YouTube. And then while you in YouTube, you have people, because you're not going to be able to hit that. Once you get 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, you'll be able to get the little button to say thanks. And when they pay thanks, people can pay you $5. Look, you want to hear the gossip? Pay me $5. Here's another thing. Make sure that when you are doing your YouTube or your business outside of YouTube to leverage it, that you work with someone. If you know someone to have a business, let me give you a little hint. If you know somebody who has a business, just straight up ask them. I don't care what dollar amount it is. Can I have $5? Look, I see you have a business. Can I have $5? And you may say, if they know you, now don't go ask nobody this question if you don't know them. If they don't know you, don't ask this question. If you know them, ask them this question. Can I have $5? I'm going to mention your name on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to also refer people, put your address in so they can contact you. Just $5. Now, the reason for that is it's not about the money, it's about the practice. This has been one of the biggest problems I've had when I'm talking to other YouTubers, especially with those three. Everyone always has this thing: stop comparing. I am developing a behavior. Understand what I'm doing. Remember, learn, grow, and die. I'm developing a behavior to ask a person to give me money for the services that I render, period. So I don't care if it's $5. If you can't ask for $5, you can't ask for 500. If you can't ask for 500, you can't ask for 5,000. If you can't ask for 5,000, you can't ask for 10,000. If you can't ask for 10,000, you're never going to make a $100,000 deal, because you got to start off somewhere. So most people be terrified to tell somebody, pay me $200,000 in order to work with me. You be like, what? I don't have that kind of money, so I can't ask nobody else. That's the reason that you practice what you want to implement. If you don't practice what you want to implement, you're never going to make money. Here's the other thing. Develop a contact strategy that does three things. One, it allows you to be consistent. This is one of the areas, because of my responsibility outside of YouTube, that makes it a challenge. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't normally shoot any content on a Saturday. I don't shoot any content on a Sunday. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Here is the other thing. I made content early on for not just YouTube, but whatever I put on YouTube, I will put on my Instagram page. So it went from YouTube, my Instagram, YouTube, and my Instagram. So how come I point that out? Because I didn't make separate content for Instagram and separate content for YouTube. Whatever I put on YouTube, I put the same thing on Instagram. How come? Because of time. So you got to look at your time. If this is going to be a part-time business, then you need to focus on practicing that behavior and consistency. You have to be consistent. Okay, here's three. Here's the third one on that one. When it comes to your schedule, you can shoot everything in 2 days, 3 days, and then you can shoot it, you shoot your content, and then you can schedule it out. That's the thing with YouTube. You can schedule it out now through Facebook on Instagram. Instagram don't allow you to schedule anything out, to be honest with you, but you can utilize Facebook to schedule out. So now you got 3 platforms. But the main thing is that you have to understand that your time is valuable. And if you take away everything else, and especially if you're over 18 years old, if you're a child, I have a different statement for you. But if you're over 18 years old, then you have to know that when you are not making money, you're paying someone else money. Whenever I watch YouTube, or if I watch, one of the things that I do is I do watch other people's YouTube channel. And if I'm watching it, it's completely off the subject what I do. I watch a nature program. I watch news. And when I'm watching those things, the commercials come on. Because of who I am, and I understand that, when that commercial comes on, I don't always skip it. If one of the ways I support another content creator is I let the ad run. And the reason I let the ad run, because it's my way of saying that I may not be able to give them cash, but I'm going to make sure they get cash because I support them. It's just not subscribing. I'm going to let that play out. So I would do that for the early on in the video. I said that in the live stream. I mentioned that I found 3 people I would communicate with. They begin to say my name, and I'll let them know, hey, listen, 3 videos played during the time your show was on. I watched all 3 of them, just so you know. That was my way of showing support. I knew I wasn't going to take no cash out of my pocket, but I knew I was going to support their channel. So I let the ads play out. And the ads play out, it paid them. So I said, okay, I hope them in that regards. These are all the things that you can do. Now, I will tell you this. If you attempt to start your YouTube channel and ask all your friends and family to watch it and they hit a playlist, YouTube has an algorithm that can tell you if people are just doing a marathon on hitting your playlist and just watching it unimpeded. You know, Netflix used to have it where you can just watch it to be show after show after show. Now what'll happen if that thing is keep running for some time and they notice that it's just going episode after episode, it's gonna say, "Are you still there?" It's gonna pause and they're gonna make you redo it. Well, YouTube incorporated that. I want to say they incorporated that in 2021. It wasn't like that before, but in 2021, YouTube incorporated that, and they will send you a message. So I do not recommend that you have any of your family members or friends hit the playlist and just let it play. You're gonna get dinged. They're gonna take whatever cash you have back, and they can actually you can get a strike. So I wouldn't suggest that, not at all. Don't let it run on autopilot. And then lastly, what I want to just remind you is this: take this opportunity if you're going to do business, you to remember this. And I can't say it enough because it may sound like I'm repeating myself, because it's so important. If right now, if you are afraid to say, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't know if I'm going to be successful. By nature, I went to school for microbiology and biochemistry. So I went microbiology first, and then after I finished, I got a biochemistry. Well, everything to me, and I probably hear my refrigerator making ice right now. Apologize for that. Everything for me was to learn. I wanted to learn. I didn't go into it with mastery. If nobody, I'm just gonna tell you this: it's gonna be very impossible for nobody to watch one of your YouTube videos. I mean, it's gonna be impossible that you're not gonna have one. They may stay on your channel long, but it's impossible for you not to get one view on YouTube. Just so you know, you can forward the link on your own cell phone or forward the link on your YouTube, on your regular Facebook or any other platform you have. You can send a group text message and hit the link. Somebody will click that, just so we're clear. So it's impossible not to have one view. But what I will point out is this: in 2023, YouTube is a mature company. So you have to look at it as a business transaction. If you're an individual or you're another company, you must look at it this way. YouTube is an integrated income line to allow you to make money. They pay on the 21st. That's the only day they pay. They're not paying before that. If it's coming from YouTube revenue, if it's coming from AdSense, well, AdSense is the same thing. They just pay on the 21st, just to be clear. Now, if you want to look at YouTube and if you never started one before, here's my first suggestion to you. I said it in the video. You don't have to go all the way back. It'll be 37 minutes. Let's do this. Make your deal first before you make your deal with YouTube. Make your deal with, look at what businesses that are around you, and then think about the content you want to create. Then immediately go out and make a deal with them. Because if you can't make a deal with your local community, you won't be able to allow YouTube to be your second revenue stream when they're your first. That was the biggest lesson I had to learn, that YouTube was not my first revenue stream. It was the second, because I wanted to make sure that the way that it goes is that YouTube already has advertised. They've had advertised for years. There's so many people trying to pay anywhere between $10. Look, here it is. For every 1,000 views, you get a certain amount of money. So let's put it in perspective. For every 1,000 views, let's say a person is going to pay you $23. So that means 1,000 people have to watch that in order you get paid $23. Ask one person for $23. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister. Say, can I have $23? They didn't even watch a YouTube video. Just say, can I have? Guess what? You beat YouTube. As a scientist, that's the way I function. Now, you may not see it that way, but I do. I function that way. I look at what they pay for how many views, and I say, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat that through scientific deduction. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to learn. What did I find out? $500, $1,000. By the time YouTube paid me $1,000, I already have made $1,500. By the time YouTube paid me $1,500, I've already made $8,000. And I didn't get paid on the 21st. I got paid, if not every other day, once a week. I got paid more consistently. So when YouTube came on the 21st, I already had money that was coming in. But that was all because I was willing to. So here's another thing. You have to be willing to make money. not willing to get views. Change the way you look at this. Be willing to make money, not willing to get views. I don't care if I got 5 views, I made $5,000. Someone said, "Oh, he don't get no views." They don't realize I had made $5,000. So I didn't look at it the same way that most people are looking at it. Man, if I don't have a lot of views, to have over 1 million views, and people have, there are people who have millions of views on YouTube. Great. I know that if they just wait on the YouTube partnership, for every 1,000 views, they're going to pay you this. Now think about it. YouTube came out with shorts. You got to have literally, like 50 million. It's ridiculous. I'm about to misquote something, so I'm not going to misquote it. But you have to have over 1 million views to make $23 on YouTube on these shorts. That lets you know you at a disadvantage. They let you know that YouTube is really leveraging. I'm not knocking it, because YouTube is a publicly traded company. So they're going to find a way for the niche that they do and the service that they offer to leverage you to make the most money. I'm just explaining to you on the Monday, coming from Monday into Tuesday morning show on business, that is so important that you read the body. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to see every Monday. I'll give you a tip every Monday about business. And I will always include how you can leverage different forms of your business, because the key to it is allocation of capital. That's all business is. You can be a successful business because you allocate your money right. But understand that marketing, understand that YouTube, they're all investments. And they're not an investment of your time. They're not an investment of your name. It's not an investment of your brand. It's an investment of money. See, people say, well, my brand. There's a lot of people who came up with their own clothing line. They're not making no money though. They're just not. To me, everything is equated to this. If I got $1 for every view, then the company made it 1.4 million. Literally, that's what a little over 1.4 million, because we got $1 for every view. But that's not how YouTube pays you. For every 1,000 views, you get that dollar amount, depending upon your niche and your channel. If you're doing product reviews, it pays a little bit less than if you're doing humiliation. Humiliation pays the most, because when you say animation, that's called entertainment. Second is going to be education pays the second, and then everything else falls in line. Those are the 2 top tiers. So if you know the 2 top tiers is, one is going to be entertainment, the other one is going to be education, but educating on what subject? Everybody doesn't want to look stupid, so they're going to go to YouTube to get products. They're going to see what the reviews are before they make the move. I'm telling you, just use wisdom. Do not decide to go into YouTube and then you think that all I need to have is views. Change the views to what they should be. If you engage with 1,000 people, and out of 1,000 people, all you got is $23, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. Now, if you shot the video for 30 minutes and then you put it out there, that's one thing. But if you're doing a live and you spending an hour to shoot it, then you spending editing another hour, and then after that you do a thumbnail, and then you do your body. By the time you all finish, you put in production, pre and post production, it took you about 4 hours, and your hourly rate for the obligations you made against yourself is $20 an hour. That's $80. If 1,000 views, you don't make $80, you're making under unemployment. You're not making minimum wage. Because run the numbers, 4 hours and you get paid $5. You don't even make minimum wage in your state. You can't do YouTube for that. No one can. It's a business, not unless you have somebody else who makes the money and allowing you to bring in part-time income. This is not even really part-time income. It's literally vanity. I want to be popular, but so could you supplement my downfall and not making minimum wage? That's really what you're doing. Supplement it, because I can't help you. I'm not even making minimum wage because I want to be popular on YouTube. Now, I'm going to tell you, the people who make money on YouTube run a business on YouTube, and that's what we run. So I want to thank you right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. On Mondays, we talk about business. I'm going to start doing the show Monday night. I'm going to start doing it at 10. I was doing it during the daytime, but it's a better time at night between the hours of 6 and 10 o'clock to do the content on business, because that's when most people are going to be home. I'll keep my Wednesday show during the day before 3 o'clock, talk about my stock watch list because the market's open, so it makes it easy. It is my personal journey. Again, make sure that you always do your own due diligence, check out the body. I see you guys on Wednesday. Have a blessed night or blessed morning.